Hi, I'm Louise. I do a lot of cozy stuff, lots of cozy game playing, but today I want to talk about my favorite things I watched and played in 2023. And they're not all necessarily released in 2023, but of course there's going to be some in there. And of course, there's going to be stuff that I missed that I wish I could have seen or that, I wasn't even on my radar, so I missed it. But this is just kind of my in review of what I watched and played and really, really enjoyed in 2023. Hi, this is Video Editing Louise. So I've decided to cut this video up into 3 different parts because having the whole thing was way too long and my computer couldn't handle it. So this first part will just be movies I watched in 2023 that were not released in 2023, and then I'll be releasing separate videos for my favorite video games I played in 2023 and then my top 10 movies of 2023. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. So I'm going to be talking about these movies that weren't released in 2023 in the order I saw them. It's not necessarily the ones I like better or worse, but that was just the way that made the most sense to me, so that's the way the list is. And the first on the list is Puss in Boots. I think it has a longer name than that. Let me Google it. Hold on. The Last Wish. Because Puss in Boots 1 is the original, like the first one, which I haven't seen. I have not seen the first one, funnily enough. But Puss in Boots The Last Wish was so good. And I feel like it's a little weird putting it on this list because I did see it pretty early on in January. It was still in theaters when I saw it. But I did technically see it in 2023 and not in 2022 when it came out. It's phenomenal. It has no right to be as good as it is. It's funny, it has heart, all the voice acting is great, and it looks so good. Even just from that beginning fight scene where he's fighting the giant troll, it just sets it off, and it's like, wow, I'm watching something that's just unique to animation, and I would recommend it to literally anybody. It is watchable for anyone if you haven't had a chance to see it yet. It's very, very good. This next movie is also a 2022 release, so it does feel weird to put it in my 2023 list. But again, I did see it in 2023. It's called Fire of Love. And oh my goodness, it is so, so good. It's a documentary about these 2 people that love looking at volcanoes and studying them, and the footage they capture and that's showcased in the movie is just so incredible. And it's got a lot of their recordings, and it just looks great, and it's really sweet and kind of bittersweet, but anyway, I would recommend it. It's on Disney Plus, I think, and I really, really liked it. I think more people should see it. And it was nominated for Best Documentary Feature this past year. And I think it fits on that list because I think it was really, really great. So would recommend. Kind of sad, but it's really, really gorgeous. And if you like volcanoes like me, it is definitely worth watching. The next one that I really liked that I saw in 2023 that is definitely not from 2022, we're moving into not more recent releases, was The Sting. I'm a huge Robert Redford fan. My favorite movie ever is All the President's Men, and this is from a similar era of movies, not like of time. Anyway, I knew I was going to like this movie, so it's not a surprise it's here. It's so clever and fun, and it just has this fun energy, and the music is excellent. So I really enjoyed it. It was very fun. The dialogue was really well written, and of course Robert Redford's great, and everybody else is great in it too. It's just fun. It's fun. And it's also fun to see Robert Shaw is in it from Jaws, another favorite movie of mine. And it was fun to see him playing a totally different character because I mostly just know him from Jaws. So it was fun to see him doing something else. The next movie has been a huge blind spot for me for many, many years. It's Young Frankenstein. Oh my goodness, this movie is still so funny. And I feel like I knew a lot of the jokes already ahead of time, but it was still so funny to see them all together. And obviously some of it hasn't aged as well because it's from the 70s and is now almost 50 years old, or is 50 years old. And that's kind of amazing that it's aged as well as it has, considering how old it is. And comedy does not usually age very well. It is so fun and so funny, and it looks great. I love the black and white. I think that was a really fun choice. And funnily enough, this year I also watched the 30s version of Dracula. That was really fun to watch because I could see where they were pulling from, and obviously those were probably watched more by the people in the 70s, because I don't know, I don't feel like people watch the 30s ones as much, but maybe that's just my perception. Anyway, I'd love to see a 4K release or something of it, and I'd probably buy it if that's a thing. I think it's turning 50 this year. That's crazy. But yeah, that was a really fun one. This next one on my list is I kind of watched on a whim, and so it's JFK. It's really long, and so I watched it thinking I'll watch this in like 2 parts because I don't know if I want to sit down and watch a 3-hour-ish movie. But oh my goodness, I was gripped from the beginning, and I just could not stop watching. And I watched through the whole thing in one sitting, which normally, if a movie's that long and I'm at home, I'm not going to watch through the whole thing at once. And it was so interesting. It's basically like a conspiracy movie, but it's really fun and really interesting and well written. And I think it's Kevin Costner does this like monologue that goes on for probably half an hour, but it is so gripping and so interesting. I would recommend it. And that period of history is really interesting to me. So it's not a surprise that I liked it. I mean, maybe it is, I don't know. But I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it, considering how long it is. The next one has also been a huge blind spot for me as someone who loves Halloween stuff. Practical Magic has been on my list for years, and I finally got around to watching it this year, and oh my goodness, it's so good. I loved the house. The house is like a character itself. I want to live in that house. I want to live in that town. And I loved just how sweet it was. Like, it had this kind of prickliness to it because it's a Halloween movie and that just kind of happens, but it is still very sweet, and it ends well for everybody. And I really, really enjoyed it, and I can definitely see it going into my yearly October Halloween rotation. And I'm really glad I finally watched it. And like, this is kind of a mild spoiler, but the ending where they're trying to banish the evil boyfriend was so I love seeing women working together in that kind of way. And so it was really fun for me to see that was the ending of this movie. And of course it is. It's about witches, and that makes sense. So anyway, would recommend. It was very, very fun. And then my last one, I actually got to see in theaters. It's The Abyss. They did a one night release of it. It was one of the movies my dad had a DVD copy of growing up. So I'd seen like the images from the disc, and I always thought it looked really interesting, and I just had never seen it. And so they restored it and then released it. And then I think in March of this year, they're releasing the 4K version or something. Anyway, sometime this year, they're releasing a disc version. But my goodness, it is just beautiful. I always feel like I go into James Cameron movies being like, oh, it'll just be whatever, because it was really popular. Not The Abyss necessarily, but like Titanic and Aliens as a sidebar. It's my favorite James Cameron movie. So good. Yeah, he always surprises me, and I just need to accept that his movies are entertaining. They're gonna be good for the most part. But this one was just really cool. I love the ocean. If you can't tell by how many like fish plushies I have. And so it was just really fun to see this movie that's like 95% underwater. It looks great in the 4K. The ending just kind of ended a little weird for me, but my dad was saying that the one that they showed in the theater was like an extended version. And so maybe I would enjoy the original cut better, but all in all, it still was a great experience seeing it in a theater restored like that. It looked so incredible and sounded great too. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to making more videos in 2024, and my next couple will be more of this, more of my 2023 favorites, and then I'll go into other stuff that I have planned that I'm very excited about and excited to share with you guys. So thank you so much.